It's fall, at least in my household, and we have to make the classic cream cheese muffin from the one place we are not going for obvious reasons, so let's make them even better.
In a large bowl, we're going to start with all our dry ingredients from our flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, and of course our spices. You can use pumpkin spice. I don't like pumpkin spice. Give that a good mix. Then we're going to add our wet ingredients, our eggs, milk, pumpkin, oil, vanilla, and maple syrup. Give this one really good mix, set aside, and then for our filling, we're going to add to a stand mixer granulated sugar, flour, vanilla, and cream cheese until it is just incorporatedly mixed. Filling our cupcake liners 2/3 of the way full, and then you're gonna poke the center with that cream cheese mixture in a piping bag, each muffin, and then line the edges with pepitas, which are just pumpkin seeds, and bake for 20 minutes. Then they're ready to eat once the cream cheese center has cooled.
It is so much better than theirs. It is so good. You have to make these if you like pumpkin. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. As someone who's half Mexican, over the next month, I'm going to teach you some of my favorite Mexican desserts in honor of my roots. So it's actually Mexican Independence Day, so we're going to make everyone's favorite tres leches cake.
We're going to start with just a simple vanilla box cake mix, except we're going to change all the ingredients. So we're going to add an extra egg, change the water to milk, and then instead of oil, we're going to use melted butter and add some extra vanilla extract. Mix that well together, then we're going to pour it into some disposable aluminum pans. This is my biggest tip, as it says on the box. For our 3 milks, you're going to need whole milk, a can of sweetened condensed, a can of evaporated milk, and mix those all together in a big Pyrex cup along with some vanilla extract and set aside. Now I'm going to macerate some strawberries, and literally I'm just cutting my strawberries and adding sugar to pull out the juices from them, setting aside. Once our cakes are hot out of the oven, we're going to poke them 2/3 of the way through with a fork and then pour our milk mixture on top of them and set them aside to cool completely. While our cakes are resting, we're going to make our whipped cream. So to a cold bowl, I'm adding heavy whipping cream, whipping it till soft peaks have formed, then adding sweetened condensed milk, powdered sugar, and a little vanilla, and give it one final mix. I'm piping these onto my cakes using a piping bag topped with cinnamon sugar and strawberries, and those are our completed tres leches cakes. Best served cold with a cafecito.
I have been dying to try this. I'm gonna need to be left alone. Give it a try, and I will be back with a couple more of my favorite Mexican desserts over the next month. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. As someone who's half Mexican, I'm spending the next couple weeks showing you some of my favorite traditional Mexican desserts. Today, rice pudding arroz con leche.
To start, we're going to bring 7 cups of water and 1 cinnamon stick to a boil. Then we're going to add 1 cup of long grain rice. For about 18 minutes, we're going to let that boil. Drain your rice, take out the cinnamon stick, and then we're going to add our 3 milks, which is a can of condensed milk, evaporated milk, and then a cup of whole milk. Give that a good stir, and we're going to simmer this for 20 minutes, stirring every 5 minutes. Cut the heat after that. We're going to add 3/4 cup of raisins and a very generous sprinkle of cinnamon. Give this one final stir, then let this rest for 20 minutes before serving. I like to serve mine with some extra cinnamon sugar on top and a cinnamon stick, and enjoy it with a hot beverage.
Let's try this. You can eat it hot or cold, and I like both. This is really good during the holiday season. This is a big dessert. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm half Mexican, so I'm spending the whole month teaching you how to make some of my favorite Mexican desserts. It is fall. One of my favorite dessert is pumpkin empanadas, and we are going to make them together.
Starting with our dough to a stand mixer, we're going to start with our flour, salt, sugar, pumpkin spice, mix that up, then add cold butter, eggs, vinegar, water, and mix until a dough forms. Now we're going to switch for a dough hook and knead it for 2 minutes. Once our dough is assembled, we're going to pop it into the fridge for 30 minutes to chill while we make our pumpkin filling. So to a bowl, we're just going to add pumpkin puree, vanilla, salt, brown sugar, and pumpkin pie spice, giving that a good mix and setting aside. Then we're going to make our egg wash, which is just an egg and water, scrambling that up, setting aside, and then our cinnamon sugar mixture, which is just cinnamon and sugar. So to assemble our empanadas, you're going to roll out a piece of dough, flatten it with your hands, then put it in a tortilla press, press down the tortilla, add a tablespoon of filling, and then crimp the edges using a fork. Placing it on a non-stick cookie sheet, brushing on your egg wash using a food safe brush, and then sprinkle with cinnamon sugar. Bake them for about 25 minutes till they are nice and golden brown, and there are our pumpkin empanadas, ready to eat when they cool down a bit.
We gotta try her. These are so good with a cup of coffee or something. If you've never had a pumpkin empanada, you're missing out.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash from my laboratory.
This is Halloween, everybody make a scene. Trick or treat till the neighbor's gonna die of fright.
It's our town, everybody scream.
In this town of Halloween,
I am the one hiding under your bed, teeth ground sharp and I...
All the monsters, calling all the monsters. come on, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Hispanic Heritage Month, and as someone who's half Mexican for the past couple weeks, I've been teaching you some of my favorite Mexican recipes. And today, to wrap up the month, we're making spa water, also known as the real name agua fresca, my favorite, horchata.
In a pitcher, you're going to mix together 1 cup of long grain rice that's rinsed, 4 cups of warm water, and 2 cinnamon sticks. Then you're going to refrigerate this overnight. In the morning, you're going to strain out all the liquid, take out all the cinnamon sticks as much as you can get, and then put the remaining rice with the water in a blender. You're going to blend this with 4 more cups of warm water for about 4 minutes till like a paste forms. Strain this again in a fine strainer like I am here. Then you're going to pour it back into the blender with 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk, cinnamon, vanilla, and some sugar. Give that one good final blend and then serve cold over some ice, more cinnamon on top, and enjoy on the hot days. This is addicting.
Let's give it a try. I don't know who came up with this. So refreshing. It's so good. All right, I'll see you next year for more Hispanic recipes. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. As someone who is half Mexican, I'm spending the next couple weeks showing you some of my favorite Mexican desserts. Today, we're making the addicting wedding cookies, pistachios.
To start, we need to toast our pecans over medium heat in a skillet for about 5 minutes till they become fragrant. Set that aside, and in a medium-sized bowl, we're going to mix together our flour and cinnamon. Setting that aside, in another bowl, we're going to put our powdered sugar. Set that aside. Then to our stand mixer, we're going to beat together our butter, the other half of our powdered sugar, before adding our vanilla extract and almond extract, giving that a good beat before we slowly add in our flour mixture in thirds. Once that is well incorporated, it is time to add our pecans we toasted. You're going to want to crush them to a fine powder along with the salt, giving that one final mix, and then our dough is complete. So to actually roll our cookies, you're going to use less than a teaspoon dollops. Even what I'm doing here is way too big. You're going to roll them into your hands, separate them. They're not going to spread much, and then bake for 15 minutes. When they have cooled for 15 minutes, you're going to roll them straight in powdered sugar. Be very generous with this because this is what gets them their great flavor, and you are done.
Here they are. These are the type of bad boys you eat 30 in one sitting. I'm not even kidding. I've been there, done that. These are the best things ever. It's fall, and I think the quintessential cake flavor for the season is a pumpkin cake with maple cream cheese frosting. So let's make it together.
To a medium-sized mixing bowl, we're going to add our dry ingredients, so our flour, baking soda, pumpkin spice, salt, and give that a good mix. Set that aside. To a stand mixer, we're going to cream together our sugar and butter until it is nice and smooth. Then slowly add in our eggs, one at a time, till everything is nice and creamy. To this mixture, we are going to slowly beat in our vanilla extract, our vegetable oil, pumpkin puree, which is the whole can, and give that one good final mix. Once that's incorporated, we're going to slowly add in our flour mixture in thirds at a time. We don't want this to be lumpy, but you don't want to overmix, so just till smooth. Also, you're going to add in some maple syrup and whole milk. Give that one final mix, and now you're ready to fill your pans about halfway full. Make sure to tap against the counter before baking. While those are in the oven, we're going to start on our cream cheese frosting. So we're going to beat together butter and cream cheese till it is double in size. Now here is my trick, and this is why I wanted to make this cake: the maple butter from Trader Joe's. Okay, the only thing it can go in is frosting, so I'm going to use half a can, give that one good mix, then add in more maple syrup and then powdered sugar to actually make this a frosting. Finally, with our cakes cooled, it is time to assemble our cake. And I didn't get any footage cutting it because it was for a friend's party, but here's my slice. I regret not getting a much larger slice. This was so good. I can't explain it, but here's the recipe for you to try it out. In a medium-sized bowl, we're going to combine our flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda, pumpkin spice, cinnamon, and mix that really well, and then set that aside. In another bowl, we're going to combine our pumpkin puree, brown sugar, granulated sugar, vanilla extract, maple syrup, oil, and our eggs, giving that a really good whisk. Then you're going to combine your dry ingredients into the wet ingredients in 3 different batches. To this, I'm also going to add a cup of milk, and then just incorporate this till it's really well mixed. Finally, we'll add in our mini chocolate chips and fold it in really well. To a greased loaf pan, you're going to fill about halfway full with the pumpkin mixture. And then if you want to make muffins like I did, you're going to fill about 2/3 of the way full. So for the muffins, you'll bake for about 25 minutes, and then for the loaf, it'll take about 35 to 45 minutes. Let them cool completely before enjoying, and they are divine with a warm cup of apple cider, and they're so moist. And as always, here is the recipe for you to screenshot.
So what's the verdict?
I am an autumn.
Interesting.
want to play psycho killer? Can I be the helpless victim? Okay, let's see. No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
How can I be down, mean? Bazaar in Florida, Bruce room slept on the Florida motel then. Dr. Dre said hell yeah, and I got it stamped like a postcard, word to mailman. And I know they're gonna hate, but I don't care. I barely can wait to hit him with the snare and the bass square in the face. This fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up in 'em. Ready to snap any momentum, thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em when they get beat with the venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up in 'em. Ready to snap any momentum, thinking it's time to go get 'em. They ain't gonna know what hit 'em when they.
These scary skeletons shout startling shrilly screams. They'll sneak under sarcophagus and just won't leave you be. Scary skeletons. Not just scary skeletons.
How can I be down, mean? Bazaar in Florida, Bruce room slept on the Florida motel then. Dr. Dre said hell yeah, and I got it stamped like a postcard, word to mailman. And I know they're gonna hate, but I don't care. I barely can wait to hit him with the snare and the bass square in the face. This fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my venom. I got that adrenaline momentum, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up.